oldest out of 6 children. My blessed parents, Dorothy, Denise, and James Allen Jackson. We lived in Georgia for a minute. I was born and partly raised in Savannah, Georgia, but don't know a lot about it because as a toddler they moved. My father got a job with IBM, I believe it was. Moved to Yonkers, and then I got another brother, 3 years younger than me. Then after that, Manhattan, sister born, Angela. So Alan was born after me, then Angela came. They're about, I think 18-ish months apart. So they're very close in proximity. They didn't always get along because of that reason. But, pretty much when I talk to my siblings, they say, I wouldn't trade it for the world, the things we went through as children. So we have me, then Alan, then Angela. Angela was the princess girl, the only girl. Sometime after that, almost the same time of space between her and Alan, Zena was born. Angela said that they ought to take that baby back where they got her from. That was, childhood stuff. If she sees this video, she's gonna laugh about that. But there was a thing of that rivalry right there. So after Zena came Kip. His whole name is Kipcho. It's a Kenyan name. It was a Kenyan Olympic runner that my father named him after because he kept kicking, in the womb, kicking a lot. It's like he was trying to kick his way into being born. There was a kickstart of running when we looked at the Olympics. Kipcho Kano, the runner. So my father took hold of that name and used it to name Kip. He was born of all times, Halloween. Love you, Kip. But we used to, the rivalry. We'd say, wow, you're like a terror. Maybe that's why you were born on Halloween. No, I'm sorry. That's just kid stuff, childhood stuff. But he would always be the one to try things, don't move this, and he would move it, Don't bother my stuff in the room, and he would go in there and bother it, I'm telling you, do not touch my stereo. I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna know it was touched. You come home, he's jamming on it, just relaxing and jamming. I said, didn't I say stay out of my room? You have 10 seconds, just Mom, he's trying to get me, all the childhood stuff. Now we have, a few years went by, the last one born, Kwai. The last 3 have these African names. The first 3 have these, Americanized names. I'm like Black Italian, I guess, which is why I like Rocky, maybe, I'm not sure. But Antonio, Anthony. The secret here is that my middle name was Antonio. So I said, Dad, why am I Anthony Antonio? Don't you know that's Anthony? Later on, he didn't feel bad when I became an adult that I felt in the spirit that, I had this strength, and he always said I was his ace and I get things done. I said, seemingly I should be Andre in the middle, So it became Anthony Andre. I had to go through all of the paperwork for that, and it happened. And my daughter Sienna has her name because we feel God was gracious to us. God is gracious, and that's what Sienna means, the firstborn. And she is such an intellectual person. My son too, but I like how he can find time to relax and chill when chilling should happen. My daughter's a fireball. Sometimes we have to extinguish her. All right, honey, it's gonna be all right. My son, we have to remind him here and there. They're 2 different people. It's cool, but he may find more time to mosey than her. But they get the job done. They go down different avenues, but they get the job done. Both very intelligent. My son tried to convince me that he was old enough to drink coffee. My daughter reached the age before him, and we would take her to Starbucks, etc. And he wrote me this long letter, and I started them out in writing since way young, toddlers, and writing these books together and editing them and all. Wow, why does my father have to be a teacher, you know? But that's all good. Look at them now. She's about to write her dissertation, working on it right now. And my son, in this case, he's like, what was he, 14-ish? So, or maybe a little older. But he wrote about why he should be allowed to drink coffee. It was a real good argument, like a page and a half. I mean, really good, syntax, grammar, the whole nine. The vocab was there, all the elements. And I said, wow, this is well written, son. Excellent job. Wow, but the answer is no. It was like, you go in the courtroom, good argument, counselor, whole nine, yeah, overruled, So I'm just happy that, both of my children have their personalities, and my wife and I honor that, and we see to it that they are free to be who God made them.
Big brother, Tony, my Tony. I am so unbelievably proud of you and everything you've accomplished and achieved in your life, which is a lot. I've gone to several of your graduations over the course of my life. I love you and highly respect you, always have, always will. I feel there are no words to truly capture just what an inspiration you've been and all that I've learned and observed just from closely watching your example, just the way you lead your life and live your life, the way you raise your kids, the way you love the Lord, your diligence, your devotion, and your just work ethic, how you just did it. You saw what you wanted to do and you just did it, and I celebrate you. We're all celebrating you today, and I'm going to stop because I'm about to cry and I don't want to do that. So I just want to say I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I will always be your Kwabi. Bye-bye. I love you.
I really don't know how to start this off or what I should even say. There are a lot of stories that I can tell you about my brother Tony, but I'll keep some of them a secret. But I can start off by saying that he was a great brother. He had to babysit us a lot, and although he probably didn't want to, he always made it fun for us. He has always been a great teacher, and he taught me how to play chess, badminton, and even a little tennis. He also let me play touch football with him and his friends and one of my other brothers in the middle of the street on the concrete. I don't know how safe that was, but anyway, I had fun. I would go to the park with them as well, and with my dad, and had a great little side shot. I don't know, Tony was hating at that point, but he never let on that he was mad about it. So I just want to say I love you dearly and congrats on your retirement. I want you to know that although we are miles apart, there's no love lost. Thanks for being a great big brother, and I know you'll continue to do great things. Love you so much.
Hello, my name is Kip Jackson. I am the youngest brother to Anthony Jackson. You guys know him as Pastor. Also a renowned educator, a dedicated and loving person. All my life he's been like a pillar in our family. And I just want to say that I love him well, him and his family. And he is a dedicated individual to whatever he chooses to set his mind to. Whether it be music, whether it be being a loving dad, a loving husband. And his profession is being an educator for so long, and his heart is in that, and he's seen it grow, and we watched him grow. He loves what he does, and he's also need to be known for that, and also I know him for being my brother. He's a person that I look up to as almost like a father figure. I had 2 dads growing up, so yeah. So we call him Tony. But on a positive note, you keep it up, big bro. I'm always watching. Okay. I love you, man. Congratulations too, okay? All right. Be well. We'll speak soon. Bye-bye.
I attended a few colleges before I was able to finish and qualify to become a public school educator. It all started in Florida, where I had a good portion of my undergrad studies done at the University of Miami. And so I had freshman, junior, and I was about to start sophomore, but the family moving and everything, you know, this is way before marriage and everything. So I'm like 18, 19, 20. But I ended up going, eventually finishing up at the College of New Rochelle, which is upstate, but they had some special classes that were housed at the New York Theological Seminary. And I worked in the city at the time, so I could logistically go to classes there in downtown Manhattan area and finish my undergrad, tie up all the loose ends. And I was able to finish and finish with honors. I was reawakened, and just to finish and tied up all my loose ends and got my undergrad, my BA, and I doubled in psychology and education. So it was a double major, double degree, and I finished up at the College of New Rochelle with honors. And I was able to eventually go into Hofstra for my master's degree. And I got my master's at Hofstra within a record amount of time. It should have taken about maybe 2 years or so, but I got out within a year. I did not let any semester go by, whether it be summer, special little winter semesters, whatever. I took everything because I said, you know what? Every step I take will be golden. That was my prayer. And I feel like God blessed me, enabled me to do that, and sent encouraging words through some key people. One, the most key person would be my wife, Lisa. Thank God for her. Public school professional teaching began in 93, the 93-94 school year. That's when it all happened. I signed a contract with North Babylon and have been working ever since then. There was a 3-year tenure process that I had to go through, which I had to have an unprecedented 4th year because of a lot of challenges. Instead of having 4 observations, they put 8 observations upon me, and I had to endure that. And I'm thankful for my upbringing. I could hear my dad's voice in my mind saying, you know, you don't give up, you don't burn your bridge, eat crow if you have to, those kinds of old school thoughts. In my opinion, the 8 observations rather than just 4 is because I was being scrutinized extra. I don't want to say it's based on race, and you can see it in the visage of the person observing you. You could sense it in the attitudes given to you in the hallway, coldness, etc. So with all of that, you add it all up and you can sense that you're not being treated fairly. It was a volatile environment nonetheless. And some of the students that I've taught became colleagues. For example, the physical education teacher, one of them, Mr. Vanterpool, Rakeem Vanterpool, he was in my first, I believe it was my first 2nd grade class, either my first or second grade class. And I have someone in the class that he was in, David Morisoff. He was a short little thing, always rambunctious and full of energy, positive, good student. He ended up marrying one of the 3rd grade girls that I taught at Parliament. Somehow they met later, you know, they got together from high school on. I don't know when and where how they met, but they ended up getting married and having a child. And going through all of my things in the garage, I found some things that David wrote to me. You're the best teacher, this and that, you're funny, I like you, da-da-da-da. And I took a picture of it and sent it to them on Facebook. And what a joyous time of going back in the memorabilia of my career and the feelings that you get from having that joy of teaching. Really great. And I'm thankful for David, Melanie. They've said some great positive things. Mr. Vanterpool. Let's not forget Victoria White, got married, Spartinos now. She was in a 3rd grade class here at Parliament. She became a teaching colleague as well. She has taught, I believe it was 2nd grade at that time, or was it 1st grade at the time of starting out. And now she has a kindergarten position. She's had twins, so she's out on maternity leave, I believe still, as I'm making this movie. But I'm thankful for all of them, nothing but positives, great people. I'm just fortunate to be myself, you know. I was taught that I should enter the career when you have those first few months that end with an R, be very stern, don't smile. Don't smile on the months that end with R. I tried that for a couple of weeks. Some of the children were afraid to come to school. I don't know. Maybe I would have been afraid of a 6'1" black guy. You know, he's, I don't know what he's all about. You know, he's tall. You know, wow, I never had somebody who looks like that, you know. But when I became my real teddy bear self instead of a grizzly bear, I warn the kids about that. You can have a grizzly bear or a teddy bear. Which one do you want? You know, I will go for teddy bear. You know, the fun-loving, the love of learning person. I get them to love learning the way I love it, and safe environment in the classroom. It's all good. So that's how I've conducted myself throughout my career in this nursery through 6th grade certification. It has been a great joy.
Congratulations on your retirement, Mr. Jackson. Your passion, your wisdom, your humor have touched the lives of many, including myself. I still remember walking into your classroom on that first day of 2nd grade, and you welcomed me with a warm smile, a friendly handshake, and I instantly felt welcome and eager to learn in your class. I also remember going home that same day, and I was excited, and I told my parents that Will Smith was my 2nd grade teacher. Beyond the laughs and memorable moments, you have a profound and lasting impact on not just my life, but the lives of many others. You leave a legacy of excellence and integrity, and it will continue to resonate throughout this school and the North Babylon community. Though you will be missed, you will never be forgotten. I wish you all the best in your retirement, and I pray that God continues to bless you and give you everything you need in your future. Again, thank you, Mr. Jackson.
When I think back on being in Mr. Jackson's 2nd grade class, I remember him always giving us the feeling of like we had family in school. Congratulations, Mr. Jackson, on your retirement and on your legacy of being always a kind and caring teacher.
I remember my very first day as a public school teacher. I'm digging in my pocket because I've been keeping this in my desk all these years. Now I have my personal little Bible here. And I keep a note in it that my wife gave me to put in my lunch. And she calls me Tony. My colleagues call me Anthony, but she calls me in an enduring way. I'm her Prince Tony. So, to my Tony, she says, this was September 8th, right? Yes, that's what it says. And it says, I pray you have a good day. I love you very much and look forward to the end of the day so I can see you and kiss your face. I can't stop laughing. This is so good. Probably got a tear in one of my eyes, but Lisa, your loving wife. I kept it all these years in my desk, not as a good luck charm, but just a reminder that stick through it. There's a bigger purpose here. Stick through it. And I could feel the Holy Spirit telling me, you got this. And the prayers of people like my wife saying, you got this. So thank you, honey. Never threw it away. So during the tenure process, I believe when they place children in a classroom, it's for a reason. Now, there were other teachers on the grade level, but I say I was fortunate to receive one of the hardest cases because the child would hide under his desk. He was unkempt. And you could tell there was some abuse that had occurred in his life. I don't know if I was given the wherewithal to get the camaraderie I needed or have the respect that I should have gotten as far as the ability to help this child. It was almost like a trial by fire, watch, he'll fail at this, was kind of the general attitude. But lo and behold, after first semester, I got him, coaxed him from under that desk, got him to work just like the other children. By the time the second semester came along, it was like clockwork. He was in his seat. He trusted me. He knew I respected and loved him for real. And then when I got observed, they were like, I'll call him Bob. That's not his name, but where is Bob? He's at his desk. See, look, he's working. He's working? Yes. What were you expecting? So that was a very rewarding experience. He had to move He didn't even make it through the whole school year. Towards the end, he had to move. But before I left that building, Belmont, he visited me from Virginia. His dad had him up in New York for a time, visiting relatives. But it was in Bob's heart that he would visit me, because he said he loved me. I was his favorite teacher and everything like that. So lo and behold, I got a call on the intercom. We're going to have somebody watch your class for a minute so you could visit. Bob's here. I said, what? Bob's here? Oh my goodness. So we met in the hallway and hugged, and he said he was visiting, and he looked so much better. And he just told me that, thanks for everything you did. You're my favorite teacher, you know. So that's very rewarding to me. When I first started teaching, I was already an ordained elder in the church. And lo and behold, 2004, installed as a pastor. And so I wear all those hats, and I bring the joy that I feel God gives me, and I pour it out to my students. And they sense the joy of it. I just don't say the name Jesus in there, but they sense the presence of him through the giftings he has placed in me to be a joy and a love to all that I teach, to all whomever I teach. You may not be able to express your theological vernacular per se, but you can live it out. And that's all God wants us to do. It's called the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace. But it's the love of God you are sensing. So always give him the glory for the great things he has done in and through me and upon me. It's the mercy and grace of God, basically.
So, my description of my husband in one word would be consistency. He doesn't change with the wind or the trends. It doesn't matter so much that it's the in thing or the popular thing. He's going to go with what he thinks is right. And he's that way whether at home, in the classroom, behind the sacred desk, on whatever instrument he has decided to learn this month. And I said so many times, how many times are you going to play this one chord? Or can you change to the next chord, please? But he's very consistent to make sure that he gets it. And always making sure that the family is secure, that the church is taught properly, fed properly, and not just in scriptures, but in all different areas of life. The dietary was one area that he stayed in for a little while. He, to the point that he cooked a Mediterranean stew on a Wednesday night. And we all had our little bowls and had me with my apron on. And he's with his apron on cooking this stew and shared it with the saints so we can see how to make the stew and that there are healthy choices out there to take care of the body that God gave us as well. So congratulations on making it through 31 years, Tony. I know sometimes it was tough, but the many lives you have touched makes it worth it all. Bless you. Love you so much. Your wife.
Exactly. There you go.
Watch too many.
Exactly.
We've been made.
Right?
These are the hazards of filming.
Yeah, man.
You don't know what's
man.
the weather. You got who are your antagonists? The weather, people like that.
DJs, all that. Man.
Oh my
The
god.
summer DJs.
Oh man, for real. People doing photobomb like they're food.
Exactly.